Hey guys! Welcome to the What Happened channel. Today we're going to talk about a topic that, unfortunately, is quite dark: serial murders. But let's not talk about any case. Let's get to know real stories of serial killers that have unusual and shocking characteristics. Get ready, because these cases are really bizarre. H. Holmes. Herman Webster Mudgett, also known as H. Holmes, was an American serial killer of the late 19th century. He got a hotel in Chicago with rooms specially designed to murder his victims. The hotel became known as the House of Horrors. H. Holmes had a rather ingenious and cruel mind, with unusual features such as a lime cellar for dissolving bodies and an operating room for dissecting victims. Pedro Lopez. Pedro Lopez, known as the Monster of the Andes, is one of the most prolific serial killers in history. He killed at least 110 girls across Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru in the 1970s. Lopez is an unusual case because he was arrested but eventually released after only 18 years in prison. Furthermore, when he was captured, he led the police to a mass grave with over 50 bodies of young girls. Andrei Chikatilo. Andrei Chikatilo, known as the Butcher of Rostov, was a Soviet serial killer who killed at least 53 people between 1978 and 1990. He was known to attack children and women and to mutilate their bodies. An unusual feature of Chikatilo was that he suffered from retrograde ejaculation, which prevented him from ejaculating during intercourse. He had to masturbate while strangling his victims. Fred and Rose West. Fred and Rose West were a British serial killer couple who killed at least 12 women and girls between 1967 and 1987. They buried the bodies in their home and in their garden. An unusual feature of the West's case was that many of the victims were family members or acquaintances of the couple, including a daughter and stepdaughter. Luca Magnotta. Luca Magnotta is a Canadian serial killer who killed an exchange student in 2012. He became known as the Cannibal of Montreal after a video was posted on the internet showing Magnotta killing, dismembering, and eating parts of the victim's body. An unusual trait of Magnotta was his obsession with becoming famous and his quest for attention on the internet. Gary Heidnik. Heidnik was an American serial killer who kidnapped and raped 6 women in his home in the 1980s. He kept them in a shallow grave on his property, where some starved to death or were executed. What makes the case even more bizarre is that Heidnik kept the women in a kind of well, where they were submerged in ice water and, in some cases, electrocuted. But not all serial killers are men. In the 1990s, British nurse Beverly Elliott killed 4 children in a hospital, leaving 9 others seriously injured. She was sentenced to life in prison and is considered one of the few female serial killers in history. And speaking of female serial killers, the case of Aileen Wuornos is truly incredible. She became known as the Road Killer after killing 7 men in a 1-year period while working as a streetwalker in Florida. Aileen claimed to have acted in self-defense and was executed by lethal injection in 2002. These are just a few examples of how the human mind can be disturbing and violent. It is important to be aware of signs of violent behavior and report them to prevent more crimes like these from being committed. Thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. See you next time.